Right. Hello and welcome to my living room. So this is a video presentation on the product that we have created. It's called Adjectival Adventure. It is an educational game used to teach Form 1 students on adjective. Right. Before we proceed any further, I'd like to introduce my team. Right. So we have here yours truly, Irfan, and then there's this handsome fella, Nazirul, Mubin, and also this handsome fella, Dr. Muhyiddin. They are both from UiTM Perak. And also this quite good-looking fella right here. This is Aiman. He's from UiTM P9. Right. So before the game was developed itself, we had to look into different models of instructional design to decide on which one was the best to use. So we decided to use a sure model because it gives us a step-by-step guide on how to create the game itself. So we have to analyze the learners, the first step. So in this case, the game itself, we have identified it's for Form 1 students in secondary education. They have to learn about superlative and comparative adjective, right? So we have also identified the objective. So in the SKP itself, document standard curriculum, we have identified the objectives for these students that we want them to know how to use and identify superlative and comparative adjective. So we decided to, for step number 3, we decided to create a new game itself. So we use RPG Maker MV. All 4 of us are actually quite knowledgeable in using this piece of software. It uses HTML, but it makes it quite easy for anyone who doesn't know how to code. Right, so and then step number 4 here, we utilize the material itself, where the teachers can actually bring the game into the class without any problems. Teachers can use their phones, teachers can use their PCs, projectors, anything that is Android or PC or Windows can play this game, no problem. It requires the learner's participation for a sure model. It's not really a big problem because it's a game. And then part of a sure model is that we have to evaluate the outcome, which I will share later. Okay, so the background is quite simple. The background of the game, the story behind the game is that there is a witch, and then the witch has casted a spell on these townsfolk, these people in a very small town, to a point where these people, they cannot use adjectives anymore. So the main character, Mamu, has to go around and find each character and teach them and give them the correct adjective to use. So it's a very amusing story, but I can assure you after testing it with my students, they find it quite interesting, quite amusing. This is an example of in-game choices. So here we have this character named Anon. So Anon doesn't know which adjective to use to describe his car. So Mamu can just simply help him. Is it shiny car, shinier car, or shiniest car? So students can actually practice for comparative and superlative based on the situation. So, okay, and then if let's say the students decided to purposely use the wrong answer, right? Lola, who is a side character, will give the main character some help, some clues on what to use, right? So some real world tests with the game itself. So as you can see here, we had 48 students, right? So 24 students actually did not receive any lesson on adjective, and they just play the game. And then 24 students actually receive a lesson on adjective. Then they had to take the same test, right? So what we found was those who actually did receive a lesson, they scored the same as those who did not receive any lesson at all, right? So this shows that the game itself is capable enough to teach these students on how to use adjectives, comparative and superlative. So the advantages of this game, it provides interactive and colorful hands-on experience. It can be used during teaching and learning at home, PDPR. It does not require installation on PC, so you don't have to worry about viruses. You can download the game and you can play it straight away. The game is not demanding. It can be played on any PC or Android. And then the commercialization potential. Now, according to statistics, in 2016, Malaysia has 2,440 secondary schools. Hence, the game can be promoted to teachers, right? Teachers in these schools. So, This game can also be uploaded to Google Play. However, it is not available on Google Play right now because it requires a lot of funds to actually have a developer account. Right, so here are the download links for the Adjectival Adventure game. We have one for PC and we have one for Android. So it's in APK form, it's not a link to Google Play as I've said before, but it's okay, it's fine. The games play quite well on even an old phone like this one. So that is all for this video presentation for EDGII 2022. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a pleasant day ahead.